Dhyanamulam Gurumurti Pujamulam Guruparam Mantramulam Guruvakam Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Shri Gurue Namaha. Hari Om. Meditation, and I presume, and I'm pretty sure, all of you must be spending at least 10 to 15 minutes a day in trying to silence your mind, or so to say, in meditation. Before we begin, we just want to remind ourselves of two important statements. Number one, spirituality is your singular journey, is our singular journey. What does it mean by singular journey? That it's only you and you who are the seeker, and only you and you are the responsible person. In other words, for this statement, we do not blame anything or anybody. Just irrespective of what happens, we just proceed because it is my journey. And only I can fix it. Only I can walk on, irrespective of the situation. So, dear friend, let us affirm this statement in our mind and tell yourself so frequently, anytime you feel agitated or otherwise, it is my singular journey. And the second statement, which is very important, which we learned, which is my inner peace is non-negotiable. No matter who does what, but I prefer and I will abide by that I will not get upset. I will not let my peace be disturbed on account of something. In other words, I do not want to pay any price to sacrifice the peace. I will not disturb my peace. So anything that happens, your boss may say something, and you know that it is 100% wrong, and you are doing your best. You feel like telling us, look, what do you mean by this? I am doing all this work. But as soon as you say, what do you mean? That means what? Your inner peace is disturbed. Your children may not be behaving good, or your spouse may be disturbing you, or your teacher, your colleague, your friends. But my inner peace is non-negotiable. So understanding this point is so crucial, and we have to keep on reminding this over and over. And anytime we feel like I want to do it, but there's too much of noise outside. That's why I cannot meditate. You are blaming something. And this is your singular journey. A time may come and you may be in a disco bar. In other words, lots of noise, or a stock market, or a downtown of some city, or any convention hall or theater during intermission. You know, everybody wants to talk. During that time too, if you need to, you can meditate, because spirituality is my singular journey. It may take some time, it doesn't matter. But slowly and slowly you practice over and remind yourself that this is my singular journey. Initially, try to create that environment, silent environment, meaning find out a corner in your house where there is no disturbance, where you do not have a TV, or set off your phone's ringer. Let whosoever call, and suggest your family members and friends that during this time, I am not going to answer the phone. You may be even a critical doctors, because ultimately your mind may try to cheat you, and mind may say your duty towards patient matters, understandable. But there is some moment in your life where or when you take a rest, you sleep, you eat, or even similar or more important is meditation. So do not find that excuse only during meditation. So it is very critical that we understand it's my singular journey and it's non-negotiable. We have learned several methods so far. One of them was chanting Om 11 number of times, and followed by 11 times mentally chanting Om, no sound, and that will lead you to a state of silence and just be there. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen the next week. It will take some time. But during all these days, you will notice that it is getting enjoyable. It is becoming peaceful. Initially, you may not like the silence, but later on, as the time develops, you will love this, and you will not feel like doing anything. It is so wonderful. And let me also mention, no matter which path of yoga that you may follow, you may have Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raj Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, and whatnot. We have no choice but to reach to a state of silence. Whichever way method you follow, but it will lead you to that silent state. And what is that silent state? It is that state in which your identity will change. So the point I'm making is, as the time will go, you will be reaching to a calmer and calmer state. During all this thing, as a sign of progress, initially, you will notice that yourself, your ego, your identity was so important. Everywhere your mind will start telling, no matter who does meditation, but yourself and your success is important. Your status, social status is very important. You can do all these things, but remember, your social status is important. Who will tell? Your mind will tell. But as you progress further, you will come to know that, like any one of us, millions and billions of people came and went, and nobody recognizes now. How many historical figures you know, which is 10,000 years old, or 10,000 years ago? In other words, nothing matters but our inner peace and what you enjoy now, today, at this moment, not tomorrow. And when I say enjoy without any object, enjoy without any being, whatever you are enjoying. And time will come and you will be wearing, you will be worn a beautiful, delicate smile radiating from within, and you will be enjoying aha moment. What is it? That all the agitation external to you, they slowly fade away. So what happens is, disturbance-less state which is yours, that state is so silent and serene within. So the word silence, the word ananda or joy, and the word compassion, they so coexist. So it is just a matter of same thing, if I may call it, and just a different name. So to say, the happiness that we are seeking everywhere, in somebody, even in temple, we go to the God and say, give me peace and liberation and intelligence. But then you think that the God to be a third person and seek it. So lovely and important. Sometimes, understand very critically, sometimes if you have your business or you are doing a job, you get so fed up that you go to a temple, or a church or a synagogue, and you pray. Pray for what? Thinking that, oh God, tomorrow I'm going to come and donate X amount of dollars. Just give me peace. So what you're really doing it as if God is a seller of peace. You're depositing $500 and you're expecting in return some peace. So a business from outside and you're going into a temple and making temple also a business place. It can be temple, it can be church, it can be anything. But that shrine where you go, it is not a business place, but we make it so. So now today's session, I would like to suggest some hint, and those hints will follow very strictly the first statement. Spirituality is a singular journey. So only you and you are involved, and only you and you will remind yourself, not third person, nobody else, only you will remind yourself. And what is that reminder? No matter which activity you do, I feel thirsty, I want to drink some water. Go drink. But just before you take a sip, you remind yourself, I am not thirsty, my body is thirsty. That's all. Just say it once to yourself and drink. Simple enough. And you don't have to say loud, just for a second. Either you close your eyes or you blink your eyes, look somewhere else and remind yourself, I am not thirsty, my body is thirsty. I am not taking coffee break, my body is taking it. That's all. Drink coffee if you want to. I'm not asking you to drink coffee, mind you. But in case you are drinking, remind yourself, it is my body who is taking coffee. Anything that you do, afternoon comes and it's your lunch hour and you are hungry, you're eating whatever you are eating. Just before you eat, blink your eyes or close your eyes and say, I am not hungry, my body is hungry. And don't talk to other people, because these are all the sign of crazy people. People will say, are you crazy? What makes you a difference, whether your body or you? Same thing. But to us, it makes the difference. Because this way, what will happen? You're creating a separation between your body and your true self. Initially, it may look intellectual. Initially, it may look like a, what can I say, like children's play, not knowing what you are doing. And people may treat you crazy. But this is not for the people and not among people. Spirituality is singular journey. Wherever you go, if you feel like going to the temple, you go. But understand, it's your body which is going to the temple. You want nothing, because whatever consciousness, the spirit is in the temple, is same in this temple too. But initially, to enjoy the peaceful environment of the temple, church, synagogue, you're going there. It's okay. I'm not saying don't go. But very crucial element and crucial statement which I'm making. When you reach to a state of silence, right during that time, please do not chant any God's name. Because the God's name chanting is to bring the peace. So in the or during the peace, you are chanting, meaning you are disturbing that state. And this is so common to most people. And most people think that by chanting God's name, it is beneficial to me. I'm not saying don't chant. You chant if you feel like it. But as soon as you reach to the state of silence, and just be there, just enjoy silence, that's it. Let me take you through a couple of slides and we'll introduce, time permits, a new method. The various methods, you don't have to remember all, whichever one suits you, do it. Like whichever food that you like, that's what you're eating. You're not eating everybody else's food. Whatever spices you want, that's what you add. Whatever brings you the result, that's what you follow. So let me take you through a couple of slides and this is so important to understand the comparison between lake and ocean. The lake, where there is no waves, ocean itself indicates there are waves. So you can say the waves in the lake converts or appears to be ocean. But can ocean be without silent water? No. If you take the water out of an ocean, do you think the ocean, do you think that the ocean remain if you take the water out of it? No. Likewise, out of your mind, if you take away the silence, nothing remains. So to reach to the state of silence, lake, you have to take out the waves. How would you take out the waves? These are metaphoric, just comparative statement. And these waves are nothing but our thoughts. Any kind of activity that you do or think of, you are creating vibration, you are creating waves. Mind you, even any thought which you may not speak out, but just thinking mentally of, it's a disturbance. These are the waves. Do not look for the peace. Look for what is waves, what causes waves, what are the thoughts, and just observe the thought. As soon as you observe the thought, your waves subside. Subside, you're not deleting it, you're eliminating it. Because waves are nothing but every agitative disturbance in the state of silent water. Did it make sense what I'm saying? Vikshepa, disturbance, agitation, vibration. As soon as that is done, you're hero. So observe the mind. And that is where the 5 minutes of pause comes into picture. Remember, that was also learned, I don't know whether first, second, or third session. So any compulsion that comes and wants to drive you, at that time you say, oh, wait, you cannot drive me. You meaning who? Your mind. Not anybody else. Your mind. Your mind. These are the things we have to observe. So understand lake is nothing nothing but the ocean of peace, and which is everywhere. Going to the next line, understand this may be very silent water, very silent water. And even if one tiny bitty drops of water falls in, it creates the ripples which shape a disturbance. And ripples is called vritti, circles. And the very second statement in the field of yoga, Sri Patanjali talks about is chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is observing and blocking the vrittis, the waves. Blocking, I mean, not physically you block. If you do not drop any water, there are no more waves. And what is this drop of water? It's nothing but a thought. Let me take you to the next slide. So here it explains chitta. If you just, these are just a few Sanskrit words. So if you take chit, that is nothing but the silent ocean or silent lake. And when you add TA, TA doesn't mean wave, but that's the way we learn. So as soon as you use the word chitta, double TA, that is like ocean. So Sanskrit word is chit and chitta. So chit is the word which is coming in Sat Chit Ananda. It's not Chitta Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. Here, what is important is to understand you can call lake to be God, and you add the disturbance to it, this becomes a human with mind. So as soon as you silence the mind, you turn yourself closer to God, or you can't become, or you realize that you are God. And different statements have been used. Soham asmi, aham brahmasmi. What is it? I realize that I am Brahman. All right. Disturbances can be, if you do not observe well, there are various ways you can turn the lake into ocean. Tornado, hurricane, tsunami. And we all know, we must have experienced all the three very easily within ourselves. You see the thunder, you see hurricane, you see the tsunami. These are not the tsunami and hurricane, tornado outside of you. We all the time have it within us. So what really, now comes the threefold process of our activity, what we need to do, what is sadhana. So in our life, entire life, whether we know it or not, whether you are a yoga practitioner or not, whether you're a teacher, housewife, or a gardener, does not matter. You are observing something in your life, so you are observer. First word. And whosoever you are observing, it can be a bird in the sky, it can be a flower in the garden, or it can be a person, it can be an animal. So this is observed or the object. And you are the observer, and you're observing and observed. So you're doing a process called observation. Then comes the subject and object and action. Subject, who is the subject? The observer. Object is the observed, and observation is an action or an activity. Why this is needed? Because it is so important to understand. Here, in this slide, it will explain to us as to what is object. First of all, objective awareness. Anything that you see or you observe is object, including your own body. Cognitive. Object can be cognitive, meaning you, with your cognitive senses, you could either see, you could hear, you could taste, you could smell, or you could touch. Any of these 5 cognitive senses will recognize the object. It is external, it is not you. Only you are internal, the rest is external. It is effortful. Because it is an object outside of you, anything you want to do, it requires effort to know it. Destination, meaning it being outside of you. I may be holding a computer mouse. Computer mouse may be 6 inches away from me, but it is not me. Somewhere outside of me, and it has to reach. And you can say moon is also an object. It may be thousands of miles away, but destination. There is doership involved in order to know the object or to do anything with the object. There is the doership. Somebody has to do something. It also requires concentration. It also requires expectation. Because if I'm not interested in computer at all and I'm not expecting anything out of mouse or software or the microphone or the video camera, nothing. So it requires expectation. And behind any object that we are interested, we are seeking happiness. And all the object may not give you happiness all the time. And sometimes unhappiness. And any object requires either doing or becoming. Doing means what any activity that you do is doing. And becoming, I may want to become a manager of a company. What does it mean? I am not a manager, but I want to become a manager doing some activity. And during that, I may have success, may not have success. I may feel happy, I may feel unhappy. So these are some of the points about the object. Very similar to it, I will go over the subject briefly. Subjective awareness, the experiencer. Now, experiential meaning you experience yourself. It is your experience. It is internal of you. There is yourself. You are the subject. Effortless. In order to see yourself, you don't need anything, any effort. It's a process, it's not a destination. It can happen. When can it happen? When the ocean ceases to be ocean, turns into lake. So it happens. It cannot be done, mind you. Very important point. It cannot be done. Meditation cannot be done. It happens. Relaxation. You will feel so relaxed because you're not doing anything. There is no expectation that something will happen or something will be accomplished. Just being. Meditation or the subject is nothing but a state of being. And what it is, you can just witness it. You cannot do anything else. Anyhow, let me see the next slide. This slide will talk in detail if the time will permit, but let me take you into a little practice. And this practice, because I simply do not want to keep on talking and explaining. What we have done is chanting of Om. So you sit quietly, keep your spine vertical and eyes gently closed. I'll be playing the music for 10 minutes, and the following 5 minutes, it will be silent. There will not be any sound. During that time, please, please, please just remain there. Absolutely do nothing. When I say nothing, not even scratching of the body. Do not open your eyes. These are the technique we are learning to expose ourselves to the state of silence. You get it? So with this, dear friend, we know how to sit. So put your left palm down, put your right palm in, thumbs touching each other in your lap. Keep your neck and your spine vertical and eyes gently closed. Very gently, so not tight like that. Just soft. Wear a little smile on your face. Make sure there's no tension, no sign, nothing. And listen to the sound of Om. You do not have to chant with it. Just keep on listening. Slowly, the sound of Om will be fading away to the volume will become lower and lower and lower. And that will turn into the state of silence. And I want you to be silent until I talk. Understand? So let me take you to that state. Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. That's it. Just to review once again today's beautiful words. Spirituality is a singular journey, and we can add it is my singular journey, and my inner peace is non-negotiable. We will find time, we are finding time, just 10 minutes of chanting of Om, and then slowly enjoying the silence as long as you can.